the director of this program. So I had a pleasure to get to know 2 students from your school, and they are both very strong. And one of them, Andres, is here, I think, in the audience. So if you have any questions about like how it feels to be here and how like a lot of details, you can ask your fellow, like your peer students who had been here last summer with us. So I think this information session today is a little special because I'm going to give you a little, I would say it, a little talk on some of the it's actually one of my work, but it's also something that is happening in the US, in the business world, is related to the general idea of ESG, or corporate social responsibility. So I'm going to give a little talk on that topic, and then I'll also give you a introduction of the program. So maybe I think I'll start with the little talk to give you an idea of what is going on, and then we'll talk about the program, and then I'll open the floor to questions. Okay. Good. All right, so let me share my PowerPoint. Okay, I hope everyone can see this slides, right? This PDF document, great. So this is a project I've been working on, and this is co-authored with my colleagues from Georgetown University and Louisiana State University. And in this project, we look at cross-ownership and workplace safety violations. So I'll get into more details in terms of what this cross-ownership means and how we measure workplace safety. So, okay. So one trend in the past 3-4 decades in the US is probably the growing concentration of public firm ownership in the hands of financial institutions. More and more stock shares, more and more ownership of public companies in the US are held by institutional investors rather than retail investors, and the trend is going up and up, especially in recent years. I think this is one unique phenomenon happened in the US in the past 30 to 40 years. And this is very unique to the US because, based on my knowledge on some emerging economies such as Asian or China specifically, the retail investors are still the majority of the market participants in the stock market. Unlike here in the US, there are more and more ownership concentrated in the hands of financial institutions. And in the book by Harvey and Williams in the 1990s, they refer to this phenomenon, this growing concentration of public firm ownership. They refer to this as the rise of fiduciary capitalism. So a lot of things, a lot of discussion thereafter has been concentrated on what is the influence of this fiduciary capitalism on the operation of public firms. Do they have good influence on these firms, or do they have bad influence on these firms? Because one thing with this type of institutional ownership is that when institutions hold stocks, they do not just hold one stock. For example, Fidelity Fidelity has a lot of index funds, and when they hold stocks, they hold probably a cross section of more than 100 stocks. So in this case, when they hold a bunch of stocks together, when they become shareholders simultaneously of like more than 100 stocks simultaneously, they can do a lot of things that retail investors cannot do. For example, one thing they can do is that they have the potential to internalize a proportion of externalities generated by the firms in their portfolio. So for these externalities, it could be pecuniary, which means the externalities that has monetary value, or non-pecuniary. Those are not calculated in monetary terms. For example, some social concerns. For example, when the institutional investors such as BlackRock, such as Fidelity, when they simultaneously hold firms in the same industry, for example, for example, they can hold a bunch of pharmaceutical companies, and they have information about this industry. They have better information about this industry, so they can do something to improve, to internalize the externalities generated by these firms. And also, one conclusion or one implication about the rise of fiduciary capitalism in recent years is the improvement in corporate governance. This is because for institutional investors, they hold a bunch of stocks, and usually when they hold a stock, they hold a large proportion of the stocks. They hold many shares. So for them, for institutional investors, when they are unhappy about the firm's management, in particular, if they are unhappy with the corporate governance perspective of the firms that they hold, is that optimal for them to just sell it? It's probably not, because especially exit of large positions, might be very costly for institutional investors. There are two reasons. First is, of course, liquidity, because when they hold stocks as institutional investors, it's very costly to sell at the same time, like millions of shares of the same stock. They will have to pay enormous amount of trading costs. And also, sometimes holding a particular stock is just a part of their strategy, such as an indexing strategy. So even if they are unhappy about the management of the firm, it's not optimal for them to sell off the firm simply because they are not happy with this single firm. So this is one conclusion for the rise of fiduciary capitalism, is that if institutions cannot sell, then they have to care. And to care is to monitor. So which means institutional investors, instead of selling the firm when they're unhappy with the firm, they will talk to the management of the firm. They will increase their negotiation. They will increase their monitoring power on this portfolio firms. So this is one conclusion or one motivation, one result, one implication from the increased ownership of institutional investors. And this is even more of the case for cross-ownership. So cross-ownership is the topic of this paper. So cross-ownership here, I mean, not simply the ownership of institutional investors on one particular firm. Cross-ownership means the institution, such as BlackRock or Fidelity, they cross-hold several firms that are similar to each other. For example, they might similar to each other in the sense that they are all in the same industry, pharmaceutical companies, or they all produce similar products. So they're similar firms and cross-held by the same institution. So this is the focus of this paper that I'm talking about. I look at how when an institutional investor, such as BlackRock, when they cross-hold several firms that are similar to each other, what is the implication? We will find some interesting results. So the motivation for this idea is because previous studies, they find that for institutional investors, it's very, when they are unhappy with the firm, it's costly for them to cut and run. So instead of exit the position, they would like to talk. They would like to intervene the management of the firm. And also from the firm's perspective, the market, if they are afraid that they will be the first to be sold by the institution when they are cross-held by the same institution. For example, Fidelity holds 10 firms from pharmaceutical industry. And if one of the firms they did not like, then they will sell the firm first. And this will be a very bad signal to the market because the market observes that Fidelity holds 10 similar firms, but this particular firm is the first one that they dump. So this is a very bad signal to the market. And the firms do not want to be the first to be sold among its peers. So they will try to impress their institutional investors, their cross-holders. They will try their best to meet any requirements, to meet any suggestions raised by their institutional investors. And also another paper find that given the same marginal cost, the marginal benefit of improving government is also higher for cross owners. And most importantly, imagine Fidelity holds 10 firms in the same pharmaceutical company, in the same pharmaceutical industry. That means they know a lot about the industry. So investors, cross ownership investors, they have information advantage if they hold cross-hold firms that operate in the same industry who offer similar products and services. So they have this information advantage, and they can better use of this information advantage to better monitor the firms that they hold. Oh, by the way, stop me anytime if you all have questions or if you all have comments. Just this is very casual, so just turn on your microphone anytime. So the motivation, the output variable we're looking at, so we've already talked a lot about cross ownership, which is more like our dependent variable, our independent variable. So in this study, we want to look at how cross ownership affects one output variable, which raised a lot of attention in recent years, especially after and during the pandemic, which is workplace safety. So workplace safety, how do firms protect their employee? So this is our focus on the dependent variable. So employee safety has received a lot of attention in recent years because more and more people, according to Wall Street Journal, more and more people start to realize that employees hold the key to innovation, especially in recent years. In the past, probably, let me see, in the past, starting from 2000, in the past 20 years, US market has witnessed a tremendous growth in high technology industry. The NASDAQ index has led all other indexes in the US market, which means highly intensive R&D, research and development industry, the high technology industry has led the growth of US economy. And the key to this growth is employees. So this is why their safety issues are of the first degree of importance to the firms. And also, employee safety is also a public concern because all members of the society, they share the economic burden of job-related injuries and illnesses, not just the employee's family, but the whole society. They would bear the economic burden of job-related injuries. And also, as a quotation, I said it here, workplace safety is among our nation's most critical public policy concerns today and central to essential business and their employees at this time of crisis. During the pandemic period, from 2010 to 2019, over the 10 years period, there are about 57% of investigated establishments having safety issues. So that means although people start to realize workplace safety, employee workplace safety is very important, however, the violations by the employers are not rare. In fact, 57% of the investigated firms have such violations. And also, even some of the large companies that we hear about every day, such as Amazon, suffer workplace safety issues during the pandemic. And also, this affects this this is because even though we start to realize workplace safety issues, it takes time to materialize the changes. So institutional investors, they vote to support shareholders' proposals on health and safety issues. Institutional investors, they do care about employee workplace safety issues. Here are some two examples I got from institutional investors, their proposals. First one is from Vanguard, the other is from Teamster General Fund. And both proposals are related to companies. The first one is with Tyson, the second one is with Amazon. Both raises issues on workplace safety concerns. So institutional investors, they do realize that workplace employee safety is of first degree importance, and they also convey this message to the companies, the firm that they hold. So in particular in this project, what we do is we study how cross-holding companies, how cross-holding institutional investors, they influence employee workplace safety. So in particular, we want to study that if firms are cross-held by long-term financial institutions with their peers, because they have peer pressure when they're cross-held by their institutions, whether they better comply with the employee safety standards issued by OSHA. OSHA is a federal agency, which I'll talk about in the next slides. So in this paper, this is what we are trying to do. We want to relate the cross-holding ownership to the workplace safety issues. We want to see if firms, together with their peers, cross-held by large institutions, whether they do better to protect their employees' safety at workplace. So this OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, is a federal regulatory agency established in 1917. And what they do is they conduct inspections on different companies to monitor whether the employers, whether the firms comply with safety and health standards. So the inspections they conduct include programs which are like targeting a specific industry or specific safety issue, or they also conduct inspections based on complaints by their employee or by a public member, or referral by an inspector or media, or whenever there's an accident, a big accident, they will also issue inspections. So this is where our data is coming from. We'll look at for each firm how many violations that each employer has been through over the same year, and what is the penalty in terms of millions of dollars that they pay on a specific year. So this is the map of the covered states in the US, the states covered by OSHA. So the light blue, okay, the blue ones are the states that the OSHA approved state plan covers private and state local government workplaces, and the dark blue ones covers state and government workers only, and the light blue ones is a federal OSHA states. So when we look at the penalty in terms of millions of dollars and number of violation activities, the time trend suggests that the workplace safety issues has been on a rise starting from 1980 to 2000. Although it has been reduced, the number of violations reduced in like late 2010s, but the penalty has been increasing overall. So this suggests that violations of workplace safety has been a severe issue in the US, and it has been increasingly the case in recent years. So what do we find? I'll just summarize the main findings. I probably don't have time for the sake of time. I'll just summarize the findings. And if you're interested in like how we did the test, what are the results, you can like download our paper. It's on SSRN. So to be specific, we find that when institutional investors cross-hold peer firms, we find there are less penalties resulting from workplace safety standards, which means when firms are cross-held by especially long-term institutional investors, they do better in terms of complying with work safety standards. They have less violations. And we also find that the effects concentrate on firms when their employees have better negotiation power. So for example, for firms with unions and firms requiring high labor skills, for such firms, this phenomenon is even stronger because employees have greater bargaining power in such firms, and their voice, their concerns are better heard by their institutional investors. Okay, so here is our contribution. Our main contribution is that we contribute to the cross-ownership and governance literature. And we also contribute to workplace safety literature because most of the current studies on workplace safety has been concentrated on the trade-off between like improved productivity and as a trade-off to trade-off to more workplace safety violations, because firms, in order to to meet their earnings benchmarks, they would sacrifice the safety of their employees in order to in order to have higher profit. Okay, and our data, this is our public available data. The OSHA data is from US Department of Labor. And we also have industry peer data. We define the peer firms using a text-based network industry classification. And we also have institutional data from Thomson Reuters. Okay, I'm going to skip all these details because we are, this is an information session for the program in general. So I don't want to spend too much time to talk about my work, but this, as I said before, this is a very important topic because the ESG, environmental, social, and governance issue has been has received a lot of attention in recent years in the US, and our Gabelli School of Business also has a strategic topic listed ESG as a strategic direction. So you will see in our curriculum for the collaborative MSF program, we also have courses and curriculum designed to incorporate the topic of ESG in our curriculum. So any questions about the topic, or shall I move on to the introduction? Okay. So now I'll move on to, I'll give you some pictures. It's basically picture-based, and if you want to know more details about the application deadlines, tuition, and application procedure, I believe Lisa has passed on a information packet, and there you can find everything you need to know in the information packet. So this is more of a general introduction about our school and our program. So Fordham University, we are Jesuit University, private Jesuit University, founded in 1984. It's been a long time. And Fordham University has 3 campuses. Our main campus is in Upper State New York, Bronx. It's called the Rose Hill campus, and our undergraduates, most of our undergraduates are based on Rose Hill. And our second, we also have 2 other campuses, which is Lincoln Center and Westchester. So Lincoln Center is the location that you're going to spend your 7 weeks in summer if you're coming join us. So Lincoln Center is located in the middle, in the heart of Manhattan. It's a very nice location. It's you can ask Andrew if you are interested. So it's like 10 minutes, maybe less than 10 minutes walk from Central Park, and it's right next door to Lincoln Center. It's a very quiet and safe area, but it's in the center of Manhattan. So our school, we have 9 schools and colleges, and in total we have 1,200 staff and 15,000 students. And we are also a top-ranking business school. So our Gabelli School of Business, we just celebrated our 100 years of business education in 2020. And we are also a top-ranking business school. So the U.S. News ranked Gabelli School of Business 12th nationwide in finance, and our international business, marketing, and accounting are also ranked very high among nation. And in recent years, Bloomberg, they have this ranking on corporate, social, environmental, the CSR ranking, and we are ranked #1 because we really we have put a lot of efforts in developing courses and talks on ESG and research on ESG and corporate social responsibility. And also for once you decided to join us at New York, you're going to take 6 courses in a very intensive format. You can ask Andres. He has, I remember I taught the last course. So that was the last week of the 7 weeks when I met them. They were all exhausted, but they felt happy because they in 7 weeks, they took 6 courses, and all those 6 courses, each of the 6 courses will take a week to finish, and it's exactly the same hours as our normal course when we spend a whole semester to accomplish. Because I teach both the regular traditional MSF and also the collaborative MSF. So I just taught them last year. I can tell you I have exactly the same materials, if not more, for the summer program and for my regular program, which usually take like a whole semester. So we managed to do that. I say we managed to do that because the students, it's fun. It's a fun experience. You get to live in a city, you get to experience New York, but also you have to work hard because there will be homework every day, there will be projects, and in 4 days, you have to learn everything you need to know for the course. So we invited professors from all over not all over the world. We have professors from both who have a very strong academic background, who has been conducting cutting-edge research on business world. At the same time, we also have faculties who came from the industry, who have many years of working experience on Wall Street. So we have a mixture of academic and industry experts for this specific program. And our curriculum is also updated every year. So every year, our partner schools ask us about the new information packet, and they always ask us, do you have new courses this year? Because our students last year says the course is different. Because we update our curriculum in order to better train our students, prepare students with the ever-changing business world, because the thing is the world has been changing. So the most important things happened in recent years on Wall Street are 2 topics. One is ESG, the other is fintech. And we incorporate all these topics in our curriculum. So in the coming year, we're going to offer, so in the information package, you can find the exact date for the program. I believe it's going to be 7 weeks, ending the last week of July. So in the 7 weeks, we have 6 courses, because during the week of July 4th, we give the students a break. They can like take a break, or most of them, they will travel around. So in the 7 weeks, we offer 6 courses, and they cover like classic topics in finance, and they also cover some, we also have some elective courses that talks about fintech, talk about quantitative trading strategies, and responsible investing, things like that. So this is our curriculum. And also Fordham is a very, has a long history of business education in the center of Manhattan. So we have over years, over like 200 years, we have trained, we have educated multiple generations of business leaders. So you can literally find Fordham alumni in every position, all the major banks within the US and abroad. So we have a very extensive alumni network, which is a very important reason why we think Fordham is this program will add value to your career development. And also, of course, I think a lot of people would like to take advantage of the location of Fordham, because this is the center of the world commerce. So here you can visit Federal Bank, the New York Stock Exchange, and we take students to visit United Nations every year. And also there are tons of things to do, especially in summer when the weather is good and when students are all like off school. There are so many things to do. And we took students to Broadway shows, and we have barbecues, and we will have happy hours. We will keep them busy with both of the coursework and also the entertaining. So it's gonna be a fun experience. And also here you're going to you don't need to worry about finding an apartment, because we provide our dorms to our students, so which are all furnished, and our cafeteria offer lunch, breakfast, and dinners. You don't even, because when you're busy, you don't have to go out and eat. Of course, you have the option. There are numerous restaurants nearby, near our campus, but you can also have the convenience of just going downstairs and eat in the cafeteria. So I'm going to show you some pictures of our previous students. So this is our main campus at Rose Hill. Is like standard, I think, in my opinion, is a very traditional US campus, suburb campus look. And this is our football court. And this is our Lincoln Center. This is where you're going to take all your courses, and this is where you're going to stay while you're here. And this is from our last year. You can see some familiar faces. Right, yeah, this is our last year. And we have, one thing unique about this program is you're going to get a chance to interact with students from all over the world, literally all over the world, because we have partnership with schools from like over 30 universities all over the world. And in this picture, we have students from Italy, and we have, of course, students from your school. And later on, we also have, this is the first 3 weeks. And in the second 3 weeks, this is our happy hour or welcome barbecue. And this is our classroom at Lincoln Center. This is our trading. It's also a classroom at Lincoln Center. And these are some, this is last year, Francis took the students to United Nations. This is in the second half of the program. The last 3 weeks, we also have students from Peking University. We have students from like all over the world.
SDA Bocconi. Peking University and the Antwerp
Louis.
Management School.
Yeah. And we're also talking to a school in Argentina. I think they might be starting, and also Indian school in India. I think we might have the first batch of students in the summer. So this is United Nations. And this last summer Francis took them to the Lion King, and we can also talk about that in the summer. This is a subway, this is Grand Central. Yeah, we have lots of fun, you can see. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, we have 30 partner schools over 8 countries. So it's here you will have a very multicultural experience because you are going to sit in the same class, and we have tons of projects for you to get to know each other. And as a professor, especially from my experience, I like students to mix up. I don't allow the students from the same university to stay together the whole time. I want them to interact with different people. Yeah. So it was fun. Yeah. So overall, we are a top ranking business school, and I really think it's a great opportunity to gain insights to financial industry. With 7 weeks, you get the same degree as our normal Master of Finance degree. Where students usually take like 2 years to accomplish. So I think it's a really, in every aspect, it's a great opportunity. Okay, so let me open the floor. I've talked too much, I think. Let me open the floor to questions.
I see that the program is very hard, but you have time to have fun too. Yeah. I don't know if we have here Andres. I don't know if he wants to talk a little bit about his own experience there. If you want, Andres.
Thank you, Dr. Pablo. I did my MSF this year, sorry. It was a wonderful experience. Rose Hill campus, it's wonderful. Lincoln Center. You get to live in just Midtown New York. So I became a little bit more New Yorker in my 2 months in the Big Apple. I want to thank a lot to Francis Petit. He was a wonderful person for us. And it's a life experience. I just want to say that if you can do it because it opens your mind. It opens you to a whole new world. You get in contact with so many people, and you get to be in a very in one of the most prestigious universities in the United States. So it opens you the doors for the world, I think. It's a hard program, I must say. The earliest day I went to bed was 2 a.m. maybe. There's a lot of things to do. So too much information in 7 weeks put in your head. It's nice because you have everything very fresh in your mind, but it's hard. And I must say that Fordham it's very, very on top of the line with the newest technologies, artificial intelligence. We worked a lot on Python and other technological programs. I still keep in touch with some of the guys from the courses. I have even contacted other Fordham alumni to help me out getting jobs and stuff. So yeah, if you can do it, guys, And I want to say thank you to Alberto Hurtado University to have this collaborative program. I'm really thankful of my alma mater, my two alma maters. And that's it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Andres.
No, if I could just add, just very quickly, Andres was a wonderful student, and we're two Jesuit institutions, right, and two Jesuit institutions in urban areas, and so basically, the dormitory where the students stay at is literally, you walk maybe 100 feet over to the building where breakfast is, and then where lunch is, and then another 100 feet where the classrooms are. You're right in the Lincoln Center area. And the program's positioned for students interested from our partner schools in securing a second master's degree. So it is intense, but again, the idea is we have all these students from all these different partner schools descending upon New York for this 7-week period. And you have class, first week, second week, and third week, you have class. The fourth week, it coincides with our 4th of July holiday. You're off that week. And a lot of students travel to Boston or DC or wherever they go. And then week 5, week 6, week 7, you're in class again. And there's an information booklet that we said, I don't know if it was distributed, but it does have a lot of the information with the tuition, and the tuition is just really a sticker price because each student receive a $4,000 scholarship in addition to it being discounted from that price as well, and plus additional scholarships. So there's a March 15th deadline to apply, and my office will work closely with Alberto Hurtado in terms of who are the individuals that will apply, and we'll work very closely to make sure to streamline the whole process. So I think maybe a key thing is to look at the booklet once it's distributed, and any questions, just pass them our way.
We are open to help the students to the applicants to complete the application process. So,
I just wanted to say that that's great to hear about that. And just a small comment, since I saw that Bocconi was there on the list, and me and my wife, the one with the baby right there, we actually met in Bocconi while we were studying there. So it's great to see that you guys will be people from Bocconi there, if we get there.
Yeah, very top-ranked schools. Also, another top-ranked school is Peking University in China, which they're also a partner as well.
Great.
more questions? No? Good. I would like to thank Dr. Linton and Francis Petit for their time. I hope this was useful for those interested in the program. We really trust this partnership. We have Fordham in front of us, and this is a great, great opportunity. Not only because the academic part of the program, but as Andres said, it's a whole experience. I have studied abroad. Other people here have experience in studying abroad, and having new people around you, doing new connections, having the experience of living with another culture is something you have no value. It's priceless. We can say that it's priceless, right? Really. And this is a short program, very intensive, but a great opportunity. thank you, Francis, then, and
Thanks.
Sorry,
and
I just have two small questions, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I should write them or just make it here.
No, you could ask them now if you like. Sure.
And how will it work with the financial aid and scholarships? Because I heard from what you said that there's and the other is, and the second question is, if we got accepted, since we are husband and wife, how will be difficult for accommodation, or how will that work out?
Will the husband and wife both be students?
It will be me and my wife that she's with the baby on the, I don't know if you can see her on the camera.
But she would not be a student, correct?
Yes, she will be a student as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Both.
we have
Both.
to talk to our residential life to see how we work that out, but it should be able to work out.
Okay.
In terms of the financial aid, so there are, in addition to the main scholarship, there are other scholarships awarded. So we could talk as well about that as well at one point.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks.
And also use Andres. Andres would be is a great resource.
For sure, we will use him a lot, I think. Thank you.
May I have one little question as well?
Yes.
How many students do you usually accept for this program? Like 30 or so?
So it varies from year to year, but we have a range. So it could be, the cohort could be, 35, but it could also be larger. So at most it can't be two cohorts. So, it could, we've had classes of over 50 as well.
Wow. Okay, cool. Thank you.
And congratulations on the baby. Very cute.
Thank you. Yeah, it's quite late here in Chile.
Good. I think that's all. No more questions? We are gonna
I just want to add one more thing. If you are able to go to Rose Hill campus in Fordham University, there is a wonderful stair that goes to one of the main buildings, and it has all the presidents in the world that have get a diploma from
honorary degree.
An honorary degree from Fordham, and I was so grateful and so happy to find Gabriel González Videla's president in those stairs, president from Chile.
Thank you.
I have a picture with President Gabriel González there, and it moves you. It tells you that the world is yours.
Andres, thanks also for wearing that sweatshirt.
Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, really.
This session was helpful for everybody, and thanks for your exposition, Dr. Hurtado.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, feel free to email me or Francis or Lisa if you have any questions.
Okay.
Yeah, we hope to see you soon in person.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you as
Thank you
well.
very much.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank you for
See
your
you.
time. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.